Hi guys, welcome. Um, so I know I've been doing a lot of Marvel things lately, and reviews, and I love them. I do. But I started realizing, when I got back from Deadpool 2, uh, I went and watched the finale. I believe it's like the complete finale of Once Upon a Time. And I realized I could be easily doing some television reviews as well. Now, Once Upon a Time, my mom and I started watching essentially the very beginning, when the first season started. And it was a big thing to watch. It was a big thing for us because we actually spent time watching it together and talking about it. And the first thing we ever really did that with was Full House when I was a kid. So since then, we didn't really watch much together except for her soap opera Young and the Restless, which I've gone in and out of understanding what's going on, and watching that on a constant basis because it's every day, so it's a lot to handle. But I always really enjoyed watching things with my mom. It was something we could talk about, and since film and television is a big thing for me, being a communications major, I decided why not watch this with her. Now, I reiterate, as you have seen, I am a big Disney fan. Of course, Beauty and the Beast is my favorite, but I also really love good classic ones. Lion King, of course, is amazing. I really like Mulan. Sleeping Beauty wasn't my favorite prior, but I'm really starting to enjoy it now, especially knowing how much editing and like hand painting in the backgrounds, how long that took. Cinderella's a classic. The Little Mermaid was my favorite as a kid. I grew to love Beauty and the Beast more towards my preteen years, but they both were my favorites for a long time. And then Beauty and the Beast kind of just won over because who doesn't love roses, and who doesn't love a woman who's smart and headstrong and stubborn with curly hair? Um, Essentially, Bella's me, just thinner. So I decided, yeah, let's give it a go. The only Disney princess that I've never liked is Snow White. Now, those of you who have seen Once Upon a Time know that this probably wasn't a good idea for me. So the reason that I don't like Snow White, it has nothing to do with me being, hating on certain princesses or certain things. It was when I was younger, I had a dream. And this is gonna sound really stupid, but I had a dream when I was younger, that someone, particularly I think it was some type of huntsman, was after Snow White. Somehow we were in a Walmart in the clothing section, and she was going to die because someone was after her. So she saw me and she went, "Hey, do you want to be me for a day?" And I went, "Yes, I want to be you for a day." So she gave me clothes just like her. She gave me a wig so I looked just like her, and she took off and she disappeared. And when she disappeared, they thought I was her and tried to kill me. I remember waking up with with them about to catch me and her in the corner going, "Oh, good, everyone's here. I baked cookies or cupcakes or something like that." And I woke up like freaking out. And since then, I've always hated Snow White because she tried to kill me. and it was a dream, but she's also a fictional character. I was her for Halloween one year before that happened, but since then I can't handle Snow White. So when she became the big wonderful star of the show, I was not happy. I was actually more on Regina's side, the evil queen side at that point. I was not okay with her being the star. Which is understandable when she tried to kill you as a child in a dream. But starting to watch this, I fell in love with Emma. Some of these stories were not, they were actually closer to the traditional ones. So traditionally, like the Three Brothers Grimm and stuff like that, that's what really happened. If you really want to know what happened, look those up. They might be too gory to the point where they might flag this YouTube channel if I start talking about them and how dark they get. But they're not typical ones, and this TV show doesn't make things the typical thing. Some of them were a little more predictable, but I mean, there are also the way that they set up some of these seasons most recently didn't make any sense really going into it, and they finally started to make sense towards the end. But they just showed the last episode tonight of Once Upon a Time, supposedly forever, and they brought everyone and everything back together again, and it was interesting. This season they brought Maui's hook into it, but it wasn't really actually Maui, it was really just his hook. And Captain Hook was after it, so go figure. It was pretty humorous. I've been wondering where Emma was and Snow and James have been this whole season. They didn't fully explain what happened to them. They just kind of disappeared. And at the end, they are there. So it was good to see them again. But really, what was revealed tonight was that the whole show, this whole time, it wasn't about, you think that it's about Emma and her journey to find out she's the savior and to find out that she's Snow White and Prince Charming's daughter and she has a son and everything is great. And you think that it's her journey that we're on and it's her experience that we're living, and we found out tonight, which makes a ton of sense once you look at it, that Regina, the evil queen, who's no longer evil, is actually the center of the entire series. And like that is something that was tastefully done throughout. I mean, even when she was the evil queen, if you think about it, she was in the center of everything that they did and everything that happened and all of the battles and the courageous whatnots was great and all, but it's crazy to think about. But yeah, she was really the ultimate reason for this show being what it is. And the ending, I don't want to spoil it because TV shows are a little different. You could have a whole season left, but they're different than movies. But, having her happy ending end in a way that no one really suspected, with a unity to it and a community of supporters for her, is a really cool way to end something. I think it's great to show that because Regina went through hell, and so did Rumple. But Rumple kind of put it on himself in some cases. He started to humble up definitely towards the end couple seasons. And of course Belle, helped him along with that, which was a whole other twist, Beauty and the Beast. You didn't expect the Beast to be Rumpelstiltskin or the Dark One, but it is. And I thought that that was a unique way of doing it too. So I guess my point is, it even though it really messed up timelines and it messed up a lot of things, especially this last season, and got really confusing, I really liked that they tied everything in the end, to Regina and to her story, and that ultimate depth of storytelling and reality in this is what makes it such a great show. They knew that they couldn't do the show with different people. It had to be at least a couple similar characters to make this show good again. And I'm glad they did it this season because, I mean, yeah, it was confusing at first, but it was nice to see Henry grown up and see his life and his family and his story, and him fight for his happy ever after like Emma did. Even though it was weird and strange for a good chunk of it, it was nice how it all came together in the end and essentially focused on Regina and how this was about her and her life and what went on in her life. And I thought that was a really special thing for them to do and a really cool thing for them to do. It was definitely a fairy tale, which, once upon a time, that's what it is. So, yeah, I really hope that fans are satisfied with the ending. I thought it was a cool ending. You always expect for it to be a cliffhanger or something to happen, but since this is the last season and the finale, it didn't happen that way. And I mean, I guess it's to be expected, but I thought it was a really cool ending that they did. I didn't expect it. And yeah, yeah. I hope that the writers are satisfied and I hope that they get a lot of views on it because even though it was a weird season and Once Upon a Time isn't what it used to be, there's still some things in it that make you wonder. I know a lot of people stopped watching it and that's probably why they ended it, but there were some twists and turns and I give them credit for that. So, alright, well this is going to be a short one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. Don't forget that fairy tales are just our dreams inside. And sometimes, they're out to kill you, and other times they're not. So, thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.